When Iraq's spoken about, it's either about the war or sectarian violence. 7 years after the U.S. occupation and a civil war, the people of Iraq had been forgotten. I wanted to see what life was like in Iraq in 2010, a week before the U.S. changes its mission. So the opportunity was to go there and tell stories that haven't been told, that a lot of media are ignoring because of the U.S. withdrawal of combat troops, the state of political affairs in Iraq. And so you're left with a large populace, in Iraq that you don't see and you don't hear about ever. I went with reporter Nir Rosen, who has spent the past 7 years in Iraq. He told me I had nothing to worry about and that we could go wherever we wanted. Nir helped to ease my mind. He displayed Iraq in a different way than I had ever heard, or, for the most part have seen. I spent 2 weeks traveling around Baghdad and the country, going places that journalists haven't been in a few years. We took 2 trips, one to Tikrit, which has a Sunni majority, and one to Diyala province, which is mostly Shia. In Tikrit, we photographed Sunnis living in squatter camps. Many of them were displaced because of the war and because of drought. Left behind is a country that should be better off than when the war began in 2003. Today, millions of Iraqis have no access to clean water or government services, no access to health care. Their electricity doesn't last longer than 1 hour a day. Iraq's a fractured society. The war and sectarian violence have created 2.7 million internally displaced people living throughout hundreds of squatter settlements in Iraq and more than 4 million refugees. Seeing and photographing the Iraqi people is important because they're the ones that are going to be affected by any change that happens in Iraq. This is Andrew Henderson, staff photographer at the national newspaper in Abu Dhabi.